Meanwhile, about 20 journalists were detained by police at a protest in central Moscow, where Russian soldiers' wives were calling for their husbands to be returned from the front in Ukraine. Dozens of family members of those mobilized to fight in Ukraine gathered to mark 500 days since the mobilization was declared. The wives laid flowers at the tomb of unknown soldiers in Moscow. They then headed to appeal to the Russian President Vladimir Putin at his campaign headquarters. Remember, more than 300,000 reservists were called up for service in 2022 amid military setbacks in Ukraine. The wives have repeatedly campaigned for their husbands to be discharged from duty and replaced with contract soldiers.
Our families did not count on this. Our men weren't ready for this situation, neither morally nor physically. They are not military professionals. They are of civilian professions, and we are saying it's necessary to bring them home from the front.
Russian police detained about 20 male journalists who were covering the protest. Many of them were wearing press vests. A few hours later, they were released without charge. According to an information by OVD, it's a website that reports political arrests in Russia. At least 27 people were detained at the rally, and most of them were journalists. The Moscow prosecutor's office said that the protest had not been coordinated with the authorities and the officials, and issued a warning against calling and participating in unauthorized mass events. Meanwhile, the other side of the war is also seeking to ensure that they have a sufficient fighting force. A draft law in Ukraine proposes lowering the age for military mobilization from 27 to 25. Earlier this week, the Ukrainian government submitted an amended version of the bill to Parliament. The reforms were sent back for revision after a draft sparked public outcry. The lawmakers and experts said that some provisions violated the constitution. The reforms are seen as extremely important for Kyiv to replenish its battlefield manpower as the war nears the 2-year mark. Fewer and fewer Ukrainian men are volunteering to join the fight.